This puts us up to about 3 to 4 weeks or so that the Frasers stayed in the house when, according to the complaining witness herself, nothing happened. This wasn't the end of her timeline, however. According to her, nothing happened for the last month in which the Frasers lived with her family. That would put us right up to about a 7 to 8 week period, which, according to the complaining witness herself, nothing happened. So this would leave us with a whopping 10-month period where the alleged abuse could have taken place. But there's more. According to the original report she made to Detective McCall, which we've been ignoring up to this point, she stated that nothing happened for the first 2 months that they lived there.
You told Detective McCall that the first 2 months the Fraser lived with you, nothing happened, right?
I said the first couple months, but
okay, by couple
I didn't say 2 exactly, but yes.
Okay, so you told Detective McCall that it was a couple months.
Yes.
Does a couple mean 2 to you?
Not always necessarily, but
Does it mean more than 1?
Yeah, a little more than 1, yes.
Despite trying to change the meaning of the word couple, after all, if you see a couple in the street, you don't think one. But this still leaves us with an 8-month period, right? Except for there's one massive problem with this. The Frasers lived with the Gamble family for 7 weeks. As it later came out in the defense witness testimony, corroborated with a number of bank statements, utility bills, signed agreements, and other physical evidence, it became abundantly clear that the Frasers lived with the Gambles for 7 weeks. Now it is true, the defense didn't have compelling arguments like this to validate the timeline.
Mr. Noreen, isn't it fair to say that it's almost next to impossible to pin down specifics during that period of time?
I would not agree with that statement because there are powerful emotions attached to events.
Do you remember what time of year that was?
No, as far as seasons, it was, normal, fall. Maybe it was winter, fall, spring, or spring, fall, summer. I can't pin down dates for you.
Okay. So I think you just listed all the seasons.
The documentation sourced from multiple places made it clear for everyone that the exact time frame was 7 weeks. So devastating was this to the prosecutor's case, he decided to say in his closing arguments that it didn't matter whether the Frasers lived there for 7 weeks or 7 months.
Whether it was 7 weeks or 7 months does not matter.
The problem with Simmons' statement that it doesn't matter is that it really does matter. As we've already worked through, there are specific events the complaining witness was basing her memory off of for the time frame when the abuse was allegedly taking place. According to her memory, the time frame based on events she was recalling made it impossible for the events to have occurred. She made it clear her room wasn't completed for 3 to 4 weeks after the Frasers moved in, and that last 4 weeks they lived there, nothing happened. This leaves us with 7 to 8 weeks of time when nothing happened within a possible time frame of 7 weeks. For the math majors out there, that leaves us with a grand total of 0 weeks in which this could have possibly taken place. Keep in mind, she did not say this happened once. She did not say this happened twice, but somewhere in the ballpark of 20 times and never on a weekend. Which, by the way, her stepdad went away just about every weekend during this time, so apparently this abuse only took place while he was home?